Hey, what's up guys? It's LA. I'm going to give you a super quick and simple daytime makeup look. I like to use this look when I'm running errands on the weekends or maybe going out for a quick drink or lunch with the girls. I like to start with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the color Ebony. And I'm also using a Wet n Wild eyeliner brush. And this brush, it's firm at the bristles, which allows me to get the look that I want for my eyebrows. I like them to be pretty dense in the middle and at the tail end. And it gives me those hair-like strokes at the front because I like my brows a bit faded in the front. And as you can see, I like to start with the bottom outline. Then I'll go over the top. And finally, I'll start that tail end. So once I finish my tail end, I like to take the pencil and actually work from the tail to the front of the brow. And that gives you a lot more color payoff using the dip brow. So if you work backwards after you've drawn your outline to fill in your brow, you'll get a lot more color payoff. Now I'm just going to take my eyebrow brush and just go over the brows to make sure there aren't any harsh lines before I start with the concealer. And I'm going to use the e.l.f. and the LA Girl Pro Conceal. Colors are really similar. And I'm just going to start with the bottom of the brow just to get the perfect line and shape that I want at the bottom. I'll also use this as my base for the eyeshadow I'll apply in just a moment. But I'm also using a Wet n Wild concealer brush, and I love this brush. And I'm going to start on the other brow. And as you can see, I kind of draw an imaginary line from one brow to the next just to make sure that the front of the brows kind of line up. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to my brows, but I like them to at least be level, right? So I'm doing the same exact technique, going under the brow, creating the shape I want, and moving that concealer all over my lid. And again, I'm using the new e.l.f. Camo Concealer and a mix of the LA Girl Concealer. And I'm just fading it out just a bit to get it to blend, because I'll actually be using another eyelid primer just for more color payoff. And I'm just fading out the colors on both sides. I'm using next the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion and this flat top brush. And I'm going to spread that all over my eye. And using that flat top brush, I'm just blending the concealer I used under the brow with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion to get a nice smooth finish before I apply my transition color. And I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette. And first for this transition color, I'm just going to be using a light beige, almost a peanut butter, and my Morphe 440 brush. And I'm just taking that all over the eyelid in a back and forth sweeping motion. This is the transition color. It also helps to mask the concealer that I put on the eyelid. And I'm just doing that on both eyes. You can see I'm still using that same back and forth sweeping motion, applying more color. This gives that concealer a really natural look. Next, I'm going to use this dark brown to create a smoky eye. And I'm just going to pat the color on before I start to blend it in. Patting the color just gives you more color payoff. So I pat on the dark brown right in the outer V of my eyelid. And as I'm blending, I'm also dragging it into the center of my lid. And I'm just doing that on both sides, adding a bit more color, blending as much as possible. And next, I'm going to take that same transition color that I started with on a smaller blending brush and just blend the harsh edges, because this is a daytime look. I don't want the smokiness to have too much of a dramatic effect. Next, I'm going to use a Morphe brush to add this copper color to the center of my lid. And I'm just, again, patting the color on before I start to blend to get as much color payoff as possible. And I'm just going to do that back and forth on both eyes. And now in this scene, I'm going back with the dark brown just to give the copper and the brown a nice blend. And just to give it a nice transition, I'm also going back to get more of the copper all over my lid. And as you can see, I'm just touching and patting before I blend, especially right where the transition happens from the dark brown to the copper color. And now I'm taking that copper and sweeping it all over my lid. And now I'm taking a flat eyeshadow brush. I'm going to add this shimmer color, which is very similar to the copper, right in the corner. And I'm also going to blend that into the center of my eyelid. And now I'm just going to be touching up the eye, giving it a bunch of finishing touches with the color and the blending, making sure it's exactly what I want before I move on to the next step, which will actually be eyeliner. And here I'm taking the Black Radiance, and this is their liquid eyeliner, and it goes on so smooth, but it takes a few minutes to dry, so you have to take your time with it, or it may transfer onto your eyeshadow if you're not careful. But I'm just doing a wing, and I'll do a wing on both sides. And to do my wing, I like to just take one line, extend it from the corner up towards the end of my shadow color, and then I will connect another line going back towards the eye, and I make a very small narrow V, as you can see I'm doing on this side. And I'll take that V and just extend it till I reach my lash line, and then I'll just take a nice clean line across my lash line like I'm doing right there. Next, I'll just finish up the eyeliner, make sure everything looks good, even, clean lines. Next, I'll take the Urban Decay mascara and fluff my lashes up a bit before I apply my falsies. So next, I'm going to go back in with a artist brush and taper the top of my brows using the LA Girl concealer. I'm just going straight across both and blending that concealer at the top. So when I apply my foundation, I don't have to get very near my brows. And what I like to do is use a color that's as close to my foundation as possible, so I don't have that really light color or that halo over my brows. And again, you can just see I'm cleaning up the top of my brows using that same artist brush and the LA Girl concealer. And I'll blend it out as much as possible to make sure that I don't have to get near the brow when I'm doing my foundation routine. I'll take my finger, buff it out just a bit, and next we'll get started on face and complexion, which is my favorite part. So I'm going to start with the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer before I apply my foundation. And I'll just take a dab of that, rub it all over my face, especially working on my nose, which gets really oily from time to time. And once that's all rubbed in and smoothed out, I'll apply my Black Radiance foundation in the color Cashmere, which is literally my favorite foundation. I'll use my Real Techniques large foundation brush all over my face, and I believe this is called the Airbrush brush, and it's really big and it works well to blend around your chin and neck and around the forehead, giving you a large surface area using that brush, which I love so much. Next, I'm going to be applying the e.l.f. Camo Concealer that you saw earlier. And I'm applying the concealer as a highlight down the center of my face and under my eyes. I'm going to use the Skin Perfecting brush. This is the Equal Tools brush, and I'm just using that to blend all over. And I like that brush because it gives you a flawless blend. Next, I'll use the Makeup Revolution Banana Deep powder, and I'll apply that with a fluffy brush from Wet n Wild in the same places that I applied the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And that's just down the center of my face and under both eyes. I blend that in, and then I'm going to contour using the Black Radiance contour palette. This is their powder palette. I'm using the Wet n Wild contour brush to apply that right into the deepest part of my cheek to highlight my cheekbone right above it. And I'll just blend that in. And you can do the fish face to get exactly where you should put your contour. And after I've contoured my cheeks, I like to take the contour color along my jawline. This gives you a stronger jawline and actually makes the face a lot slimming especially your profile or side view. I also take that contour color, go around my forehead. And I take the forehead contour, blend it into the cheek contour, as you can see there. And then I go down against the jawline. So it's almost like making a number 3 on the side of your face. So you do forehead, cheek, and jawline. Then I'll take that same contour color, go down the sides of my nose to create a slimmer profile of my nose. And all the contouring does is really make your entire face appear slimmer. So you highlight your cheekbones, you slim your nose, you sort of cut down your jawline, all to make you look like you have a more contoured face to appear thinner. And I am just touching up all the places that I contoured with that same Wet n Wild contour brush. Again, my forehead, cheek, jawline, and down my nose. Now I'm taking a more dense Wet n Wild brush to blend the contour that I just put on with the fluffier Wet n Wild contour brush. This brush just blends the colors more seamlessly, gives each color a natural transition into the other color. Next, I'm going to take the sculpting color from the same Black Radiance palette and just cut under the contour I did on my cheek. And now I'm taking a larger contour brush just to blend that color with the contour color. And I am using that larger brush all over my face again because I love blending. Blend, 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 ladies. Taking a larger, dense all over face brush and blending again before I apply any more products to my face. Want to make sure my complexion looks perfected. Next, I'm going to take like a honey rose color and put that on my cheeks using a Wet n Wild blush brush. And then I'm going to blend that in right into the high points of my cheek, taking it back towards my contour. And all over, I use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark Deepest and a large all over face brush from Real Techniques. I take that MAC Mineralized Skin Finish and I pat it into my skin. And once I've patted it in, I take the same brush without applying more product and just fluff all over my face. Now I'm applying my lashes. These are Kiss lashes in the style Gala, and I'm just applying them on both sides. I start by applying the lash in the middle, and then I'll touch up both ends for the inner corner and outer corner. Now I'm using my Mary Kay Ultimate Mascara for my lower lash line. Applying that on both eyes really quickly, and this is truly the best mascara I've ever used. It gives such long and full lashes after one use. I'm taking the MAC Matte Prime and Set all over the face. Next, I'm using a dark brown pencil to line my lips, and then I'm using Milani's Foxy as my lip color. This is a beautiful nude color for darker skin tones, and I just picked that up at Walgreens. Using the ColourPop Candyman highlighter on the tip of my nose and a little bit on my cheek and at the top of my lip. I love applying highlight right to the top of my lip. I think it gives such a cute little glow. And you can see me doing that right there using the brush, and then I'll take my finger and apply a little bit more right in that Cupid's bow. So cute. After applying the highlight, I take another mist all over to set my makeup. Now, this is the finished look. I hope you guys like it. I think it matched my copper bob really well. Looks so adorable. I am just going to fluff my hair a bit, make sure my makeup looks great, give you a different lighting. I'm sitting in front of the window, so you should be getting some natural light. Apply my earrings. I think I look so good now. After doing my makeup, everything turned out so wonderful. And I'm glad you guys stayed for the entire video. This was such a fun look for me to do. And I hope you guys will come back for the next video. Be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe and thumbs up. Thank you all so much for watching. This was so much fun. And if you have any requests, anything you see on my Instagram page that you want to see, let me know. And have a great weekend. Bye, ladies. Love you.